Hey guys, this is Nate with Academy FM, and today we're going to be going through a couple different ways to sidechain through volume automation in FL Studio 12. So the ways that we're going to be going through today are, first one is just simply assigning a channel on your mixer as your designated sidechain channel and then just automating the fader. And then the second way that we're going to be going through is through a plugin called Fruity Balance. So just to get started here, we're going to go ahead and make a quick little drum loop. Have a kick and a snare here. All right. So got a little simple drum loop here. First thing we need to do is get something to sidechain. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a crash cymbal. There's a crash cymbal, definitely something that you always want to sidechain with your kick drum, because without it, it'll just clash, not in a good way. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab our crash cymbal here, pull up our mixer, and assign him to his own channel. And then what we're gonna want to do is pick a channel and designate it as our sidechain channel. So I'm just gonna grab one right here, right click, rename, and call it sidechain. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab crash cymbal, and we're just gonna go over here to down here, and we're gonna hit route to this track only right here on this arrow. So just right click, route to this track only. That way your crash is getting bussed over here to your sidechain channel, and it'll get controlled by this fader here. So next thing we want to do, we have our little section here highlighted. We're just going to go back to our mixer. Right here on the fader for the sidechain, we're just going to right click and hit create automation clip. Now we have this little automation clip here that's controlling the volume of the sidechain channel. And what we're going to want to do is just kind of zoom in here, and this very first automation point, want to right click and hit copy the value. So we want to make sure that that is the same as the end at all times. Otherwise, when you have your point here, if it's not consistent with the end point, it's going to either be going up or down, and we need it to stay the same. So pretty much what we're going to do now is just drag this down here and right click for our start point there, and then this right here is the automation that is causing the sidechain through the volume. So we can definitely play around a lot with this. This is just kind of a basis that we're going to be working with right now. So we have our crash cymbal, and it is connected right over here to the sidechain channel. So let's go ahead and play it without, and then this is what it sounds like with it. So it's a nice little snappy sidechain there. And we can definitely play around with this just to make it sound however tight or loose as you would like. Go ahead and grab a synth loop here just so we can kind of see exactly how it sounds. So we're going to do the same thing that we did with the crash. Just go ahead and assign this to its own mixer channel, and then go over here, route to this track only. I also think, yeah, so it looks like this specific loop that we picked out here is a different tempo. A quick little thing that you can do here is you can just go up to the top left, click that, fit to tempo, and if it's not able to detect the actual tempo of the sample, you can just go to, usually it can, so in this case I'm pretty sure this sample is 140 beats per minute. I don't know why it says 179.236, but it does. But since we know it's 140, what we can do is we just go down here to type in BPM, 140, hit enter, and then it will line up with our BPM. So go ahead and cut that off there. let's put this on its own. Oh, we already did actually. No, we didn't. Let's go ahead and put this. Oh wait, yes we did. Okay. So, pretty loud. Let's turn it down. So that sounds pretty good on the first hit here. But what we need to do to make that sidechain consistent is just grab our little automation clip and paste it wherever you want the sidechain to take place, which is more often than not just your kick and snare hits. So that is sounding much better. So you can definitely play around with the actual specific automation, but this is for the most part an easy way to do that. And then what you can do is just have, you know, your various different channels here all bust over to your sidechain so that they can all duck out at the exact same time. Now, the next way that we're going to do it is through a plugin called Fruity Balance. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a new channel here. We'll call it Sidechain 2. And then we're going to go ahead and just grab the plugin. So it's down here under gain called Fruity Balance. If you do not see it there, I'm going to run through really quick how you can pull it up. So I'm just going to grab it right now anyways. But if you're not seeing Fruity Balance under gain, what you can do in FL Studio 12 is just go up here, go to your plugin database, go to Effects, Installed, and then VST, and Fruity Balance is right here. So just basically drag it over to your channel rack. Where'd it go? Right here. And it'll just pop up on your master, but we're not going to worry about that right now. But now that it's there, what you can do is click it and then go to the top left and go to Add to Plugin Database. And then it's going to say first select or open the plugin database subcategory folders that describe the plugin best. So we're going to go ahead and hit gain. And once you have that selected, go back up here, do the exact same thing. And it's going to say it will be added to this subcategory, gain, hit OK. I don't know why FL Studio 12 makes you do that. It's not something I remember from FL Studio 11, but that is something that you do have to do to get certain plugins to show up. So once you have that, you can just go over to the plugin, Fruity Balance. So we have our plugin, Fruity Balance, and we have two knobs here. One is for balance, which is just your panning. The other one is volume. So we're going to be automating the volume, and the benefit for doing this as opposed to just automating the fader is that this doesn't automate the fader. So you can actually control this wherever you want it. It doesn't have to stay at a specific place as you're automating throughout your track. So we're going to go ahead and assign these guys over here to the second sidechain channel. Oops. Make sure you don't do sidechain to this track only, just do root to this track only. There we go. Okay. So what we're going to do here now is the exact same thing that we did with the original volume automation. Go to Fruity Balance, right click volume, hit create automation clip. And copy the value of our first point, drag that down to 0, place a new one, and hit paste. And then here is our sidechain automation right there. So it's essentially the same thing. We're just doing it through a plugin rather than through the actual mixer in FL. So I'm also going to just go ahead and grab a different snare drum for this one, a snappier snare. Something that'll bring out the sidechain a little bit. Okay, so here's what this is sounding like now. So here's what it's like without it. And that's how it's sounding with it. So you can do a lot of playing around here. Just make sure that you do keep your starting and end point consistent. That way this little line right here is not going up or down. Obviously not that drastically, but even if it's slight, it'll create some fluctuation that you do not want. So one last cool little trick that I have found to be pretty effective when using this method of sidechain is just go ahead and drag our little sequence over here. So one thing I do usually towards the end of working on a song, or sometimes in the middle, really just depends on how you're working, but what I'll do is I will highlight all of my automation for the sidechain, and then just go up here to the magnet and click none so you can freely move around. And I'll just bring it a touch over to the left. Not a bunch, but just a little bit. And that way it kind of triggers it just before your kick or snare hits, and it makes it a lot more of a snappy, just kind of tight sidechain. You just want to make sure that you don't go too far to the left. So it's really just a tiny little bit. And then you can play around with your automation there. So yeah, that's basically 2 really easy ways to do that. So I hope this helped you guys out, and thank you for watching.